Hey you guys, it's Andrea Olson with Go Diaper Free. I'm going to be recording episode 151 today for my podcast. Now crawling, more misses. What do we do? So let's begin. Welcome to the Go Diaper Free podcast, where we're all about helping you potty your baby as early as birth. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, author and mom of 5 babies, all EC'd from birth, all out of diapers by walking. And this is episode 151. Now crawling, more misses. You can read the written version of today's show and see all the links that I mentioned today over at godiaperfree.com/151, where I will also be replying to comments over there, questions, whatever you have. Come on by when you're finished and let's talk. So today we've got another question from not one, but 2 of our Go Diaper Free readers from the US and Thailand. It's all about, what do I do if my baby poops or pees in her pants because she has started crawling? This is another super common problem that warrants a deeper answer, so let's do it. Question number 1. This is from Luis R. in the USA. I used to have completely 100% dry days with my baby before she became mobile. When she started crawling, I had to learn all of her new cues, and I only caught the morning and post-nap pees. I now miss about 3 pees a day on a good day. For example, if she's not refusing the potty. Is this the new normal? Does everyone experience this? And then question number 2, which is from Jeremy in Thailand. Unya, who is 9 months old, Unya's poop is usually very firm, but has gotten quite a bit softer the past couple weeks, and she has stopped signaling when she has to poop. It seems like she doesn't have to try anymore. It just comes out on its own. This is disappointing because we were at almost 100% accuracy with the poops, but now we're down to about 50-50. And here are my answers, you guys. Hey, Louise. Hey, Jeremy. So these are both excellent questions. Yep, very common and somewhat flexible or fixable. We have to be flexible if we want to fix them, I guess. Eventually, though, I will tell you it will all be back to normal. But with pee, it can take months, and with poop, days or weeks. Let's get started on how to reverse these trends. But first, the why. Why is this happening? Why are we suddenly beginning to miss newly mobile babies' pees and poops? Part of the reason is new abilities. Part is newly accessible and very interesting surroundings. Another part is that explorative compulsion temporarily is overriding all other urges, instincts, and sense. Like common sense and senses, everything. It's just like we just are compulsory. We have to explore everything. Also, they're not always by our side or in our arms anymore, so we miss the more subtle signals that might be there when they are. And we've been doing most of the physical pottying work for them or helping hold their body and everything thus far anyway, so why would they bother signaling anymore? Last, the new developing leg and abdominal muscles. So they're newly developing. They've already been there. They're just getting really strong. In the abdomen, we're getting a lot stronger. This affects the bladder. This affects the colon. And this affects the sphincters in new and interesting ways. Again, temporarily, but this is all new. So how do we get everything back in order? The first thing you can do is wear your baby more often. And Jeremy, at least until you get that first poop of the day or around when you're expecting it, go ahead and strap her on. You'll be able to reconnect with her signals more in a baby carrier, and she'll be able to give them more willingly because they usually want to escape the carrier if they need to go. And yes, some babies might dislike being worn inside the house when all that exploring is on the agenda, but you might have to do it for a week. Or take a walk outside with her strapped on. Just get close to that baby and refer to these common in-carrier signals that might come up. So here are some possible baby-wearing EC signals while they're in the baby carrier. Sudden crying or fussiness, wriggling, feet pushing against you, trying to stand up in the carrier if their feet are in it, bouncing, arching out of the carrier like they're going to fall out backwards, phantom pee on either side. It feels warm and you think you've been peed on, but they haven't peed. You're not wet. So after a week or so of wearing your baby at least 2 to 3 more hours per day or times per day, see if your catches go up and her signals become clearer and you guys get reconnected. Keep up the EC practice by continuing the easy catches. So continue doing elimination communication with your baby despite the misses. Don't give up. The worst thing you could do at this point, if you want to keep doing EC, that is give up. Depend more heavily on the easy catches, such as upon waking from a nap and during a diaper change. Also, potty your baby when it's convenient for you, like when you go to the bathroom or when you arrive at a store or when you are ready to leave the house, etc. Pay attention. No, really, pay attention. Tune in a bunch more. Just tune in for a week or two by doing these things. Turning off your phone for a few hours a day, just stick it in a drawer. Turning off your computer for a few hours a day, might as well stick that in the drawer too. Stopping the Facebooking or Instagramming or TikToking for a few hours a day. Again, stick the stinking things in a drawer and actually turn it off. Don't just put the moon on. Do airplane mode, everything. Being in the here and now, physical world for a few hours a day to help you do this. Just keep coming back to your breath. Follow your breath in and out, in and out, in and out. Do not hover or be potty centered. Just do things that are creative and hands-on and that allow you to still be present for your baby when the needs arise without helicoptering, like waiting for that pee and waiting for that poop all day. No, don't be potty centered. Just do other things and be diffusely aware of those needs when they arise. So that's how we tune in a bunch more for a week or two. Notice those times when your newly mobile baby crawls over to the other side of the room and hides under the chair, or pulls herself up on something and begins making that familiar face. Is it poop time? Or starts to get either extra quiet or extra active all of a sudden, like you feel a shift in the room. Then try to catch some of that pee or poop and be on it for a week or two. This is part of tuning in. Gently call out wait and transport quickly. This is how to do it. Wait and go get them. Use a backup during these times so that you don't teach her to pee on the floor and so that you don't get stressed out. This could be a diaper. It could be cloth. It could be a disposable. It could be a compostable like diaper with a Y, the one I love the most. This could be just clothing. It could be pants. It could be underwear. This could be tiny trainers. And I suggest aqua blue or blackberry purple because they show wetness right away. And that's my company. You can find the link in the show notes at episode 151. So godiaperfree.com/151. You could dress them in a sumo style cloth pre-fold diaper with a diaper belt. That's all explained in my book. Either way, all of these could really help you know when she's wet right away. And do this method after nailing the poop cycles and getting that part back on track, then we're on pee. And if your problem is missing a bunch of pees, here's an excerpt from my book, Go Diaper Free, which you can find at godiaperfree.com/the-book. I'm catching all the poops, but not many of the pees. You're not the only one. Babies pee so often between ages 0 to 18 months. You might miss a bunch, and it's not a big deal. Some babies begin pee consolidation at 3 to 4 months. Some after crawling or walking. So in other words, they're peeing a whole bunch of the time, and then they start to pee less often, and they're bigger. Some don't mind being wet. Some hate being wet. The big picture, over time, your baby will consolidate pees, pee more quantity less frequently, and will care about being wet someday. We always go for every other pee with my babies. They sometimes pee every 15 minutes, for goodness sake. If my first baby peed in the diaper backup without telling me, he would most definitely tell me the next time beforehand, so we'd get half, which I take, and then we'd get less, and then we get more again. I can safely say there is no real predictable expectation I can give you about pee catches. Every baby is so different, even my 5 as compared to one another. And in case you're wondering what happened for us, eventually all 5 of our babies were consistently signaling and all pees were consistently caught by about 15 to 22 months old, no matter how we got there. Since the process is so nonlinear, my biggest advice is just to stick with what you're doing and trust that everything will work out in the end, because it literally always does. Additionally, here's some more ideas for you to catch more pees. Number 1, for your sanity, first, do not strive for perfection. Caught you, didn't I? Let that crazy idealization go right this instant. Just let it go. Stop counting your catch versus miss rates, especially with pee. Number 2, keep her in some sort of clothing or backup during times of numerous pee misses. Remember, diaper free doesn't mean naked and peeing everywhere. You're still communicating, right? Number 3, When babies are bored, they pee more. This is more so when they get into the crawling and toddling stages. When engaged, especially with other children, they hold it more. Please don't take this as advice to spend all your day playing with your child. As I've mentioned, child-centeredness can annoy a baby. Use your judgment. Other kids are usually much more interesting to them, as are walks in nature and outings, and other kids as in slightly older than them. Number 4, as EC becomes his normal routine, and if you use a backup, he will prefer to be drier and will hold it more. Things definitely change over time, partially due to maturation and growth, and also depending on what's going on in his immediate environment. Number 5, you gotta let a few happen. You aren't teaching her to pee in a diaper if a few happen. You will likely get a better pee signal if you let her pee in her diaper the first time. And if she doesn't tell you about it the next time she needs to go, she will tell you about it because she doesn't want to double wet it. And she won't want you hovering over her all day, so holding it becomes a grand idea. Now, I don't mean to stop offering or to forego the best potty-tunities. Just lay off a bit and offer half as much. Maybe rely on the 4 easy catches and such. Trust in the process. And number 6, last, if you are taking him all day long, he will pee all day long. Take him less often. If your problem is that your baby stopped signaling once she got more mobile, check out my episode on signaling, which is godiaperfree.com/27, episode number 27. And that's your homework. Thank you for your questions, Louise and Jeremy. Everybody go listen to episode, what was it? Yes, episode 27. Please share any stories or advice you might have in the comments section over at godiaperfree.com/151. And any questions you have, please, how did you get past your newly mobile baby miss session? So, when you had a lot of misses right around mobility, how did you get past it? That could help another parent out. What did the trick for you and your baby? Please share with us over there. Thank you guys so much for being here. Till next time, happy pottying, y'all. I'm Andrea Olson, and you've been listening to the Go Diaper Free podcast at godiaperfree.com, and we'll see you next time. All right, that's it. I love questions. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below this video, and we'll try to answer them on the YouTube channel or the podcast. And definitely subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you next time.